What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to GNR Frank. My name is Francisco, and today we're going to go ahead and review the HyperX Cloud Alpha. Let's go. Okay, y'all, so if you've been following my channel, if you watched my videos before, you should probably gather that about now, I'm a pretty big HyperX fan. I'm a very strong believer in their products. I think that they have some of the most, some of the most reliable products for their pricing. I think that whatever range of budget you have for any of their products, they have a product that meets that budget. And they're, I think, pretty darn reliable. I think they've not let me down just yet. And so, being that I'm a big HyperX fan, there's one version of their headsets that I haven't reviewed yet, and that is going to be this HyperX Cloud Alpha headset. Now, this headset's been out for a little minute now, but I just finally got around to trying it out. So before we actually get into all the details and the nitty gritty, let's go ahead and talk about what's inside of the box. And it's actually quite simple packaging. So you're going to have your standard aux cord, your audio cable right here, right? So 4 poles, boom and boom, right there. Okay, and it's going to have your inline mic and mute and volume control. Okay, it's also going to have your Y adapter for PC. Now, the cool thing to note here is that both of these cables are very long, right? So I had no problem here at all with the length of the cords of the cables as I've had in other headsets, right? Braided cords, so good quality stuff there. I think this is starting to become a lot more standard now across the board. And then, of course, our handy dandy detachable microphone. Bonus points to any headset manufacturer that actually does this, because I can't stand when they're attached to the headset itself. Now, let's talk about the headset. Ta-da! Here it is, in all its matte black and red glory. Now, when you look at this headset, it is a very good-looking headset, right? Nothing too gimmicky. I'm not a fan of the design right here, but whatever, that's not a big deal. It has the traditional HyperX logos on the ear cups, very nice matte black cups on the finish on the cups, pardon me. And then, of course, some pretty gnarly red stitching on the headband, just to, I guess, differentiate it as the Cloud Alpha. Very comfortable, very cushiony leather ear pads, right? So this is a closed back headset. And then other than that, just the metal aluminum inside of the band. In terms of build quality and I guess durability, it's pretty durable, right? Like, I'm not gonna really have any issues breaking this actually, but we'll get back to something along those lines here in a minute. And as far as fit is concerned, well, it's just better that I show you here. All right, so I've got the headset extended out all the way to its maximum length from the headband, and I'll tell you what, at first fitting, the headset is comfortable, right? It fits snug, like, has a nice snug fit around the ears. So it's not on your ear, but it's around your ears. And you can definitely feel the closed back nature of the headset right off the bat, because I can barely hear myself speaking, as opposed to like whenever I use my Sennheiser headsets, I can definitely hear everything going on. But this is where this headset kind of began to fall short for me. All right, this is unfortunately the first of many issues with the headset, is that over time, I would constantly have to do something like this, the little head wiggle, just to get it to fit back accordingly to my head. And it's not because the ear cups are poorly built or anything like that. It is because this headset is an incredibly tight fitting headset. It's way too tight sometimes. Now, it's not uncomfortable, it's not unbearable, but it's just annoying enough that you'll notice it and you're gonna have to switch it and change it up and like wiggle it every so often. I was playing Final Fantasy VII, streaming it for a couple of hours, playing Call of Duty for a couple of hours. Just any time that I sat down for an extended period of time to play with this headset, I found myself having to constantly readjust, and that's not good. Like, that's not okay. I'm not a fan. And granted, this isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. It definitely has something to do with the shape of my head and how this headset is built, but you might experience something similar. I think the fact that the tension of the headset is the main culprit here leads me to believe that this could be an issue that a lot of you may or may not experience. So just something for you to bear in mind. Now, other than that, you look at this headset and I see nothing but HyperX quality for sure. Like, without a doubt, this is a HyperX built headset. I know that it's going to last a very long time. I know that it will, for the most part, be comfortable. and it's gonna definitely do a good job of canceling out as much noise as possible. So I guess speaking of noise, let's go ahead and move on to the sound. Okay, so in terms of sound, there was a couple of main issues that I had with the HyperX Cloud Alpha. Now don't get me wrong, the headset actually sounds pretty darn good, but there's one tragic flaw this headset suffers from, and that is its bass. See, the big thing that this headset prides itself on is this dual chamber technology. HyperX dual chamber drivers for more distinction and less distortion. And that unfortunately couldn't be further from the truth. So here's the thing. I was playing games like Red Dead Redemption 2, for instance. Just taking my good old boy horse out on a walk, on a good stroll in lovely pastures, and the bass is so overpowering on this game and through this headset that the constant trotting and gallops of the horse actually became quite annoying. They didn't think that was going to be possible. Games like PUBG, where I was playing, and you rely on directional cues and soundstage to be able to tell where some gunfire is coming from or where someone is coming at you from, became an issue because it became an issue in noisy areas, meaning like a gunfight or something like that, because the bass was so powerful that it actually drowned out all the other sounds, and it almost made it impossible for me to understand where things were coming from. Okay, and I'm not bad at PUBG, by the way. I'm pretty good. All right, and then games like Call of Duty. So this was kind of the weird one, because Call of Duty actually sounded really good on this headset, but it just packed more of a punch than I felt it needed to in terms of bass. And I'm thinking that this headset right here was designed for gamers who love bass, but unfortunately, I think that came at the expense of slightly ruining the sound experience. I haven't had a good experience using this headset in terms of sound whatsoever. Music, of course, you like bass when you're in music, this is going to sound awesome. You're going to love listening to music with this. But in terms of games and soundstage, I'm not a fan. I actually did not enjoy using this headset whatsoever. I feel like, if anything, it ruined the sound for me more than anything else. Now, I've heard of the people that use this headset and love the headset, and just for transparency's sake, this is the setup that I use. So I use the headset connected to the PC adapter, so it's hooked up straight to my motherboard. I use the headset connected straight to my PlayStation 4 controller, and I use the headset connected straight to the PS4 using the Asher A40 mix amp. Okay, so those are my three setups, and that's what I always use. And that's how I always test my headsets now. And each setup, the bass was just too much, like too much. It was kind of like there to punish me for something I didn't even do. That's kind of how it felt. It felt like I was just being punished for something I didn't even do, and I had to just deal with it. And it's kind of sad, because this is the first experience that I've had like this with a HyperX product. Usually HyperX has great sound, great build, great, decent mics. The sound has never been an issue for me with their products, but this time it's just like, yo, this was disappointing, to say the least. It's not the worst audio I've experienced in a headset, but this is the most disappointing because I expected better. I hope that kind of puts things into perspective for you. So, sadly, I can't really say I give the sound a thumbs up, or even a full thumbs down. It has its issues. I think if they revised it and try to, I guess, do away with this dual chamber technology thing, that sounds like a big gimmick to me. First of all, I think they might have something good on their hands here, but who knows? Anywho, last thing to check out is going to be the microphone. So let's go ahead and get that set up, and we can give you a mic test. Okay, y'all. So in terms of microphone, this HyperX Cloud Alpha actually sounds pretty good, in my opinion. I've used it, recorded it here on Audacity a couple times, played it back a few times, and overall, crystal clear. I don't really hear anything crazy going on with the microphone. I don't feel like it's muffled too much or anything like that. I feel like this is a very clean microphone for the headset itself, which is very good, but also kind of sad, because it's like, if you've watched my videos before, I have this thing where it's like you get three things in a headset. You get build quality, sound quality, mic quality, and unfortunately, you can almost never have all three. And it seems like in the case of the Cloud Alpha, they sacrificed sound quality to an extent and gave exceptional build quality for the most part, with the exception of the tension, and pretty good mic quality, I would say. if you're going to plan on using this to communicate with friends, chat online on PS4 or PC, Discord, what have you, they should be able to hear you just fine, crystal clear. You won't have any issues with that. Obviously wouldn't recommend these kinds of headsets and microphones for content creation or podcasting unless it's the absolute only thing you have. If that's your only option, by all means, go for it. You got to start somewhere. But other than that, I gotta say the microphones, what I would expect it to be at the price point of the headset. So overall, I'll tell you this, as big of a HyperX fan as I am, this is actually one of my more disappointing headsets of theirs that I've reviewed. The fact that I have to constantly readjust it to get it to be comfortable, the fact that it feels really tight over a period of time, the fact that the bass overpowers and drowns out all the other sound for the most part is very, very concerning to me, especially for the price of the headset, right? If this were a much cheaper headset, I wouldn't be forgiving, but I wouldn't be as unforgiving about it either. And if it were a different brand, it'd be a different story too, to an extent, because HyperX has a reputation with me, to sort of say. So I'll take this as a one-off, the exception to the rule, if you will. Would I recommend this headset to you? Honestly, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend it just because how picky I know I am with sound. I can only imagine that people are just as picky, and I wouldn't want you to deal with overpowering bass. Now, the good news is that you might be able to adjust your bass on PC, for example, but for those of us who are playing strictly on consoles, you don't have as much control over your sound. So I just can't recommend this really. Get it if you want to. Buyer beware. You've been warned. You're not going to have a terrible experience with it, but honestly, for the price that they're asking for nowadays, you can definitely find something that has better sound, just as good of a mic and equally good build quality, or better. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for all the new subs. We finally broke 1,000 subscribers here on GNR Frank. That means the absolute world to me, y'all. That's incredible. That's insane. Honestly, I never thought I'd even be at this point. It's really cool. Me and my wife kind of sit there and watch a sub count and like exciting. It's almost like a sport for us. So wouldn't be possible without y'all. So much appreciated. Yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. If you have any recommendations of any other headset or merch you want me to check out, and then be good to yourselves, be good to one another. It's crazy out there. Stay safe, right? Hand sanitize, wash your hands. You know the deal. Catch y'all next time. Peace out.